Sorry for the lack of light quality, but I'm just on the phone and I'm just messing around with the built-in camera in the computer while I make this little film about dealing with Orbitz and Hertz rental car after the adventure or misadventures of our trip. Hopefully, the audio comes through clear enough that you guys can see what, get a better picture than me being a whiny little bitch. Hi everybody, it's Ray, and what I'm here talking to you about, I've got Orbitz on the phone, and this is in reference to our trip to Park City and Salt Lake City. Let's see what kind of customer service Orbitz gives me when it comes to doing the right thing involving a rental car. I'm going to put the call on speaker, and I'm going to let it record once the person starts talking to me.
Sorry, sir?
What city am I calling?
What city?
Yes.
We are located in the Philippines, sir.
The Philippines. Okay. Because I was talking to someone in Mexico City. I have a weird situation, and I'm curious. Is there any way I can talk to someone at the corporate office?
Let me just check.
You still there, Gwen? Gwen? It appears as if Gwen hung up on me.
Okay. Thanks very much for waiting patiently, sir.
Oh, okay.
Well, then, for Biddle, if you would like to go ahead and speak with someone from the corporate office, you just have to check on the website, sir, under the Contact Us link. You'll be able to see there the number.
Okay, well, while I have you here, you brought my trip up, right? Hello?
I still haven't checked it, sir. Can I have the billing zip code for the security of the account?
99202.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
And I do see in here a flight, hotel, and car package that arrived to Salt Lake City last January 20.
Correct.
And how will I be able to assist you?
I want to know if what I need to do to either claim damages or get a refund for part of the hotel stay, the entire car rental bill, and some of the events that we missed due to Hertz's lack of customer service, rudeness, renting me an illegal car, putting my wife and myself in in danger for our lives. Then we had to be rescued off a mountain. And I know Orbitz is a stand-up company. I just need to know who I need to talk to about this portion.
Okay, so just to verify, you would like to ask a refund in full amount for the car rental reservation and a part of the hotel reservation. Am I correct?
Yeah, and the reason that being is after we were rescued off the mountain, we had to get another hotel while we were already there. And I think you can imagine that was kind of a pain in the neck.
So you were saying, I do apologize for hearing that one, sir. So you were rescued in the mountain.
Yes, we had to have the original rental car towed off the mountain. And the car that they rented us didn't steer right. The tires had issues. The suspension had issues. It didn't drive on rain. It didn't drive on dry ground. It didn't drive on snow. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay. So once we got, the room, we really have no complaints with. It was a gorgeous room. But what I'd also like Orbitz to know is, or I want an answer, and if you can answer this would be awesome. When we booked this trip, we originally were to stay at a place called the Canyons. For some reason, we wound up being put at a place called Solitude. Now, if you go by your information, it says that Solitude is 5 miles from Park City, Utah. In summertime, that may be true. In the wintertime, the road from Park City to Solitude is under hundreds of inches of snow. Why wasn't that information available prior to booking? Oh, and also, I want to know why I wasn't put in the canyons like we were supposed to be.
Okay, as I'm right now checking on the reservation, sir, the name of the hotel that you are in is Solitude Resort Lodging.
Right, we weren't supposed to be there. Somehow that was where the trip got booked. It wasn't supposed to be. It was supposed to be the canyons, which is literally right at the bottom of Park City. The Solitude is 50 minutes away. Once I don't know who changed the booking. I don't know why the booking was changed, but I am curious as to what I chose isn't where I was given, and I'd like to also know why. Well, and then while we were there, we weren't able to get some of our events, and I also like to be reimbursed for the money that we were out for some party tickets, and some of the films we could not attend. Personally, I think you guys should bite the cost and return all my money. But some of the trip wasn't that bad. I'd be willing to settle for $530 returned to me. And I want to talk to Orbitz before I take it to my credit card company or to a court of law. Is there anything you can do to help me with that, Gwen?
Okay, so just to verify, sir, were you able to check in at the hotel?
Yes.
And how long have you stayed at the hotel, sir?
We stayed there 2 of the days. When we were able to be rescued off the mountain, we had to go find another hotel at the Salt Lake City airport to resume our vacation. Do you think that's fair?
I would just like to check on this one, sir. I do apologize. Why have you been rescued in the mountain? Was there something? Is there something happened at the hotel?
The car would no longer drive, and then a snowstorm came in, and we couldn't get off the mountain, so we had to have the car towed back to the Salt Lake City airport.
Okay, I do really apologize for hearing that one, Mr. Biddle. So what I would do in here, sir, is I can go ahead and call into the hotel and check with them with regards to the charges regarding this reservation you had. And I'll be calling on the car company, sir, to check as well for a possible refund.
Okay. Now, while I have you here, okay. When we got back to Salt Lake City, we got a second car. Okay? And this is probably the biggest part of this. Why is it okay for Hertz Rental Car to rent a car that goes against their own company policy? In the state of Utah, when cars are sent into the canyons, they are required by law to have 4x4, that's 4-wheel drive, or tire chains. Hertz provided neither. They gave some lame excuse. The car that they rented me, they shouldn't have been legally allowed to rent to me. And if they had have made it a lot clearer about the 4x4, that should have been available on the website. And wouldn't you agree?
Because as for that one, sir, it will be depending on the availability of the car company, sir, if they do have that certain car that you wanted to rent.
Well, that's not the issue. Once you get there and they give you a car, the car shouldn't the car be held to the standard of at least state law. I find it interesting that, I don't know, maybe I'll have to take this to the Attorney General's office of Utah also, but I find it really interesting that Hertz Rent-A-Car, which is one of your representatives because you put it on your site, or when I say you, I mean Orbitz. Let's get that clear. I'm not trying to attack you, Gwen. You're awesome, and you've been talking to me, and we're being professional to each other, which I appreciate. I just think that Hertz should have to go by the minimal standards of the state law. And if they can rent a car that's two-wheel drive, they should be like, hey, you know what? This car is for city use and flatland use only. And then I would be able to say that makes sense, because they shouldn't be able to even rent a two-wheel drive vehicle, especially a vehicle with bad tire pressure, steering issues, that turning problems. It wasn't serviced properly. It had a multitude of issues. So when you go to Hertz, I don't know what they're going to document and come back to you, but I really think I'm asking you to help me out here and do right by a loyal customer. I've booked trips with you guys before. I probably book 1 or 2 trips a year. I like Orbitz. I just want to be treated properly. Can you help me with that, Gwen?
Okay, as of the moment, sir, that is what I can do. I can go ahead and call them and check with them information regarding this reservation that you do had. Because I do really apologize, sir, but the information that is written on the website, or the information that is being posted on the website, sir, are coming directly from the hotel and as well as from the car company.
Well, I'm
checking on this, so can I please push it hold, sir? This might take 3 minutes or more.
Okay.
The fact one thing was to give you an update.
Okay, and again, if you don't think you can help me, please push me up the ladder to the person that can. Again, I like Orbitz. I think you guys run a great service, and I'm sure you're happy working for a company like that. In this case, though, there's a lot of stuff that Orbitz dropped the ball because the hotel says you guys directly put the information of how far you are from cities, not the hotel or the resort. But anyway, I'll hold. You do what you got to do, and then come back to me, okay?
Okay, sure.
Gwen's checking, and hopefully she pushes me up to somebody higher. See, that's the problem. I started dealing with a guy in Mexico City. Then I started dealing with someone in the Philippines. With all the financial issues and job issues in the United States, maybe these companies should start having a call service in the United States, preferably one in every state that they deal with, because that way you would deal with a local person that would understand about the canyons in this case. Hold on, guys. More to come.
I'm right now speaking with Mr. Scott from the hotel.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And I would just like to verify, you said that you only stayed at the hotel for 2 nights at the Solitude Resort Lodging, correct?
Well, let me just make sure I'm going to recap it in my head. We were there Wednesday and Thursday. Wait, I might have that wrong.
Did you advise the front desk, sir, that you will be checking out?
Yeah, they knew. And as for checking out, again, I'm not angry or bothered with Solitude. They were fantastic. I have an issue with our rental car company, which is why we had to be rescued off the mountain. It had nothing to do with Solitude. I don't want that represented in any way.
So you're just calling with regards to the refund of the hotel for the unused nights, correct?
Yeah, and again, I don't think Solitude should be out that money either. I think Orbitz and Hertz should eat all of this.
Okay. Because I'm asked for that one, sir, since you had a prepaid reservation with Orbitz at the time that you had checked in at the hotel, we had already been charged as well by the hotel, so that's why we're calling the hotel to check with them regarding a possible refund for the unused night.
Right.
Just continue to stay on the line, sir, because I just have to inform Mr. Scott about this one, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. I find it funny that Orbitz is trying to drag Solitude Mountain Resort under the bus. I hope some of you heard that in the last clip. I actually liked the place. I had no issue with them. Their staff was friendly. Their accommodations were awesome. Everything about it is great. It just wasn't where we were supposed to originally be. And on top of that, there needs to be better identification when it comes to, or communication, better word. It needs to have better communication about what kind of vehicle needs to go up there. If you're not from that area, you're not going to know. And Hertz, they make this little teeny blah, 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 blah. They don't stress it. It also would help if you were speaking with someone that spoke English.
Have to check onto the car reservation, and I did spoke with Miss Diana, the reservations manager of the hotel, and I do apologize about this one, sir. But they, as I spoke to her, I informed her that you had an early checkout with the hotel, but then they will not be able to. They said that we will still be charged for the full amount of your hotel stay.
Right.
They do not give out any refunds for early checkout.
Correct. And they shouldn't have to. It wasn't the hotel's fault. I just want to make sure we're clear on that and we understand each other. I had no issue with Solitude the resort. It wasn't their fault that we had to be towed off the mountain. I'm not expecting a refund for that portion. I'm expecting a refund from a hotel because we had to stay at the airport motor inn or whatever it was called after we got off the mountain. We shouldn't have to change reservations in the middle of a trip. Again, that's not the hotel or the resort's fault. That falls back to Orbitz and Hertz. Do we understand each other now?
I do understand, sir, but as for this one, again, we will not be able to give out any compensation with regards to the hotel stay, sir, because again, this is a prepaid reservation. We have been charged by the hotel at the time that you had made the reservation with Orbitz, sir.
Right.
You had already paid as well the hotel reservation.
Correct.
But they will be giving out a refund, or they will say that they will be giving us out a refund for the amused night. Then we will be going ahead and giving it back to you. Since then again, it was your money that was charged onto this. But as for this one, since the hotel is not giving out any refunds, sir, on our end, we will not be able to provide any as well. I'm going to go ahead and call into the car company and check with them, sir, regarding the car reservation that you had.
Okay, Gwen, I don't think we're 100% clear with each other. I understand about the Solitude, the mountain resort. I don't expect them to give me a refund. I expect you guys, Orbitz, to stand up and say, you know what? This customer was damaged because of Hertz rental car. And I think Orbitz and Hertz rental car should suck it up and say, you know what? This is a loyal customer. He books trips to New Jersey with us. He books family vacations with us. We shouldn't treat him this way because of a rental car company. It had nothing to do with Solitude. They shouldn't have to give a refund. They booked the room in good faith. We went there in good faith, and we would have stayed there if we didn't have to get off that mountain. That's if the car is working right and the car does what it's supposed to do, we get off that mountain. That had nothing to do with Solitude. That's where Gwen. That's where I think you need to talk to someone in Orbitz and say, oh, he's not mad at the hotel or bothered with the hotel. He's bothered that he had to book another hotel because of his car having problems. And I'm going to call Solitude and talk to the operations manager just to make this clear. They have done nothing in the wrong. Does that make that a little bit more clear to you?
Yes, sir. I do understand that. I do understand that one. But then again, sir, that's why we're checking as well the information directly with the hotel. Because again, the amount that you have paid with Orbitz has already been with the hotel, sir. So as I informed you earlier, we will not be able to provide any compensation because again, we just paid what you had paid with Orbitz, the hotel. So just continue to stay on the line, sir. I'll be checking what can be done in this, okay?
Okay, thank you. I find it funny that I thought I've been clear about Solitude. They have nothing to apologize or pay us back for. But the rental car was the issue. and Orbitz is their representative. These two companies should do the right thing by their customers. But in this case, it doesn't appear that they're going to. I don't know. You guys, when you see this, send me an email. Hopefully the audio is clear. You tell me, should I just let it go? Or do I have something to stand on here? I feel I do. I don't like being wronged. I feel like, a good portion of our vacation was just downright ruined because of this. I mean, we enjoyed each other's company. We had a lot of fun together, but it wasn't while we were there. The reason we were there had to be changed because of Hertz rental car. And Orbitz works for Hertz, or vice versa. Yeah. Did you try the national office?
I'm sorry?
Did you try the Hertz national office?
I did call directly, sir,
Or did you call the airport?
where you had rented the car.
Okay, because if you call the Hertz office, the national, that 1-800 number, not the 801. If you call the national office...
That one, sir.
Yeah, I called the national office and they treated me with respect. The local office, I called them and they didn't answer the phone. I let it ring for 20 minutes. They just don't answer the phone at the local office. I find that amusing too. And, I've got you here, Gwen. Do you think Hertz should do that to a customer, make them hold for 20 minutes? Or in your case, make you hold? You're busy. You're doing your job. You don't need this dealing with them. Do you? I mean, I wouldn't want to just wait online or wait on hold for some local agent. That's why I went to the national office.
Okay. I'll be checking on that one as well, sir.
Okay.
I'll just get back to you.
Press 1, then enter that extension at any time during this minute.
Let's see if I can get through to the Hertz at the International Airport in Salt Lake City. The last time I called this number, I waited for 20 minutes and nobody answered. This is Orbitz. Two minutes it's been ringing. Hertz rental car? Customer service? I think not.
Definitely, and I did advise them regarding the issue you had with the car rental. But right at this moment, sir, since the reservation is still open, as she said, you need to contact and provide your disputes or your issues regarding the car company or the car rental you had, sir, with emergency roadside at this number.
Okay.
It's 1-800.
Okay.
654.
Okay.
5060.
5060. Now, why do they want me to call emergency roadside service after the cars have been returned and I'm home?
able to assist you because as of this moment, sir, they still haven't had any information from their end. She just told me that the reservation is still open.
Huh.
So she wouldn't be able to provide any assistance at the moment, and she referred me for you to call on their emergency roadside because that is where, if you had issues with your car reservation, that is where the number that you should speak to.
Huh.
As Ms. Natalie told me from the customer service.
Well, you know what's funny about that one? You think they'd even mention that when you rent the car in the beginning. That's never been said to me. I find that interesting. Don't you find that interesting, Gwen?
I do really. I would not be able to answer for that one, sir, because I wasn't able to.
Right. Okay.
So I would not be able to guarantee because she just said that all the information regarding this rental that you do have is on the contract that you had signed at the time that you had picked up the car, and this is because I told her issues regarding the car rental that they had given you, because again he wasn't able to drive on rain, on the snow, and that you had there at the time that you were using the rest of the car, there was a snowstorm, and that you were rescued in the mountains, and that is why you did make another hotel reservation due to the issue you had with the car rental. And she said that you need to, regarding that issue, she wouldn't be able to give us assistance because, again, on the customer service, because the reservation is still open as an information given by her, and that you need to contact the emergency roadside on this number that she had provided, because right at this moment, she will not be able to help us out.
Okay. Now, Gwen, you've been awesome, and I appreciate you talking with me and helping me in any possible way. And I'm not 100% satisfied with Orbitz, and that's not necessarily your fault. You're doing great. To go to the next level with Orbitz, who should I call? Could you give me a name and phone number, please?
This is just the same number that you need to call, sir, for assistance.
Okay. Now,
who would you like to speak with, sir?
Oh, I'd like to speak to someone. Let's see. Are you just a customer service rep, or are you a supervisor?
Yes, I am not a supervisor, sir. I'm just a customer service representative. But if you would like to go ahead and speak with a supervisor, I can go ahead and transfer your call.
Well, just a second before we do that. Who is above the supervisor? Like, does Orbitz have an owner, like one person, or is it a board of directors, or what?
As for that one, sir, normally this will be handled by the supervisors, but if it's still.
Because I've spoken to Orbitz supervisor. Well, I spoke to them while we were there, and to be honest, I think you guys do all the real work. I don't think the supervisors do much. What do they do? Sit around, drink coffee, or something? Who can I go that's like the supervisor's boss? Who do the supervisors answer to?
I will not be able to.
Interesting. So you're telling me you can't tell me who the supervisors answer to. I'm just trying to make sure I understand this, because usually when in a corporate situation there would be an answer to that. Anyway, all right, Gwen. Could you transfer? All right, you can transfer me to a supervisor now, and hopefully, will I have to rehash all the information, or will this just go like one screen to their screen?
No, sir. I'll be giving them the information.
Oh, you are so awesome.
No, I'll just get back to you, sir.
You're awesome. If you can send me to a supervisor now, that'd be fantastic.
Thank you very much. I'll be putting in hold, sir, so I can check for an available supervisor to assist you.
Okay, you have a great day.
Thank you, sir. You too. One moment.
I'm at the hour mark of this phone call. This has taken, as long as it's taken while we were there out of our lives, it's taken an additional hour. I haven't really gotten anywhere yet. I do know that I am calling Hertz next, so stay in there. You're going to like it. I'm sure it'll be informative. And let's spread this video. I don't usually get things that go real viral. Let's make this go viral. I think it'll be fun. Because I really think Hertz and Orbitz owe me here. And, you know, when you see this, respond with some of your horror stories. Everybody should put horror story videos out. They're always fun to watch. All right, guys. I'm at like an hour, 1 minute plus. I'm going to turn this off for a second and wait to talk to the supervisor. Then I'll be back. I'm going to be speaking with Arden now.
Thank you for waiting. This is Arden, supervisor for Orbitz and Hertz.
Hi, Arden. What city are you in?
That's Arden, sir. That's A-R-D-E-N.
A-R-D-E-N. And what city am I calling? Where's your location?
Okay, I'm located in Manila.
In where?
That's in Manila.
Manila. I'm sorry.
Manila.
Yep. Okay. Do I have to rehash everything, or do you know where? Have you read the notes yet?
Okay, from what my agent has told me, you now has had some issues with a car that resulted to you having to put yourself in another hotel.
Yeah. We had to rent a car that shouldn't be, by law, wasn't allowed on the state of Utah's roads, and which wound up costing us 2 days at our original location. We had to go back to Salt Lake City, get another hotel while there, then go to the airport and pick up another car, which Hertz, by the way, severely overcharged us. They charged us based on the Orbitz contract all the way back the original day. We only needed the car for 2 more days. They wound up charging me an extra $200 after all the problems. And I'm going to call Hertz also, because I personally think Hertz is more accountable for this than Orbitz. I just think Orbitz, since you guys handled the package, needed to be aware. And I know what, I'll be honest with you, I think Orbitz should do the right thing and take care of me here. What do you think?
Okay, what exactly are we trying to do here? Are we trying to get a refund for the unused portion for the hotel and the cost?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to do.
Okay, so you wanted to get a refund for the unused nights for the hotel as well as for the unused days for the car.
Well, to be honest, I have no issue with the airfare. Everything was great and awesome with the airfare. Okay? We lost 2 nights at the original location, and I want to also know, how come when I booked this trip, I booked it for a place called the Canyons. Somehow, my reservation got made for Solitude. I shouldn't have never even been sent to Solitude. Then once I was at Solitude, we were there up until Saturday. So we stayed there Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night. No, I'm sorry. My wife's correcting me.
No, we left Thursday.
We left
Friday.
We left Friday. So we were at Solitude Wednesday and Thursday. They were there 2 days. So Friday and Saturday, after we got rescued, we had to go get a hotel at the airport. So I'd like to be refunded the 2 nights from Solitude, and I'd like to have my expenses reimbursed for the other hotel, and I'd like all the money I spent on the rental car, from the additional $200 for the second car, plus all the rental car charges before that. And on top of that, because we missed events due to this rental car, I'd like to have the 2 movies that we missed and the party that we missed due to having an ineffective rental car. See, if the car's right and it drives like it's supposed to, we're able to do everything, and then nobody even has to make a phone call. Everything's fine and dandy. Once the car was bad and broken, we were stuck. That's why we had to be rescued off the mountain. You still there, Arden?
So basically, you've had a problem because of the car rental.
Yeah.
So you're probably doing, because I understand what you've been through, although pretty much I understand that there has been a bad weather condition in that area as well. But what you're telling me is pretty much if the car condition was okay, then you were not supposed to have to be stranded.
Correct.
So,
Correct. But
what I'll be doing then, if that is the case, I'll go ahead and call Hertz.
okay.
The car company is this way the Hertz. I'll go ahead and check here.
Now, but who's gonna?
And I'll be telling them what happened with your with your trip. And I'll just check. Oh yeah.
Now, and Arden, I don't mean to interrupt you.
Call Hertz.
Okay. When I call when I've called the Salt Lake City Airport Hertz location, they just don't answer their phone. I've found by calling the national office and dealing with them a little bit better. So I'm just trying to save you some time. Are you there?
Call right away and tell them that you've had some issues with a car rental, apparently ruining your hotel reservation and your vacation, and see if Hertz will be willing to compensate you.
Now, Arden.
Yeah, the long you take for around 3 to 5 minutes.
Okay, Arden, while I have you though, do you honestly, be honest with me, do you think Hertz is going to stand up and say, you know what, we screwed up here, we're going to take care of the Biddles? Because I don't. I think...
I got an answer for the car company, sir.
What about Orbitz? Would Orbitz stand up and say, you know what, we took these people money, we dispersed it to the hotel, the car, they had tickets for stuff. Maybe Orbitz could stand up and say, you know what, Mr. Biddle, we're really sorry for all this. We're going to take care of you. Can Orbitz do that for me?
Sir, I'll be telling Hertz of what you've been through, but I cannot really answer for them.
No, I'm asking about Orbitz.
Compensating you for that. As far as Orbitz is concerned, we don't have control over the services that they provide.
Oh, I think you do.
Okay, we can always coordinate with them.
Well, because all right, can you answer this one? Because nobody's been able to answer this one. On your website where I do my search and I start building my trip, okay? I want to know, first of all, how come Orbitz took when I was supposed to stay at a complex called the Canyons, why did I get booked at Solitude Mountain Resort? That's two different places. Then on top of that, how come Solitude, in your literature, your information, and again, when I say your, I mean Orbitz, so I'm not talking to you personally, you're just, sorry, you're just the person on the other end of the line, and I think you're trying to help me, and I believe you. I just want to know, how come on Orbitz's website, you can say that Solitude is 5 miles from Park City, when in reality, it's close to 50 miles. And it wasn't a typo. And I've checked since I've been back. That information's still there. And Orbitz has been made aware of this because I did that before we even left. And we weren't given an option of a total refund. We weren't given an option of rebooking. We were stuck. We were stuck at that point. Hold on. Anyway, we'll just ignore that call beeping in. Can you explain that part to me, Arden?
I'm sorry, sir?
Did you hear anything I was just saying? I know we had a little bit of an interruption. How come? Because I got all my information for my trip from Orbitz. That's the reason I'm calling you guys now. I want to know how come when I booked my room, I was supposed to stay at a resort called the Canyons, Canyons. That was right in Park City. Then, when the reservations came down to being finalized, after we've already paid, we got switched to Solitude. I didn't make that switch. Either it was a computer glitch or there was an overbooking. How come that happened? That is why I think Orbitz has some responsibility here. Can you help me with that one?
Sir, I really am not seeing. I really do apologize. I really am not seeing that here. Okay, I can only, of course, base information that I'm saying. I cannot validate your claim that somehow the hotel has been switched or whatnot. I can only see here a hotel reservation, a package reservation, a flight and hotel and car reservation, a hotel reservation with Policy Resort Lodging, a car with Hertz, and a flight reservation with Delta.
Yeah.
I do see here as well that this reservation was just over in itself.
So
online.
Oh, yeah, and that's how it was booked, and it was booked a long time ago. I just want to know when I use Orbitz and I choose I choose my flight, I choose the accommodations, and then I choose the car, which is based off with the information I get from Orbitz. How come it went from what I wanted to you guys switching me to Solitude? How did that happen? I know that's not something I agreed to. That happened after I booked my original. Can you help me with that one?
I really don't see that here. And honestly, website really has not had a bit of a switching the hotel reservation from on the booking process.
Well, I'm telling you, that's what happened. I'm not making it up.
Take this for just to review your reservation.
Right. I'm not making this up.
To make adjustment to your booking.
I don't know exactly. I don't understand your website and how that could happen. I mean, all right, you're in Manila, correct? You want to come to, let's say, Los Angeles and stay at the Beverly Hills Grand Hotel. Okay, you're there. You've booked your trip. It's paid for on your credit card. Next, you print off your information. You're ready to go. Next thing you know, you're in Washington, D.C. Are you going to be happy? The flight gets you where you got to go, and that part's cool. But when your accommodations change with no fault of your own, wouldn't you be upset? We're talking about a couple of issues here.
I thought that, of course, if we're talking about your reservation, so you're telling me that your hotel somehow has, got switched?
Yeah, our hotel from our original booking.
Hotel?
Yeah, no, I did not pick Solitude originally. I picked the Canyons. I was never informed of a switch. I was never informed that I was not going to stay where I was supposed to stay. When we printed our information getting ready to go to the airport the night before, we were very confused. Or actually, it was a couple of days before. I had called Orbitz and tried to get an explanation then, and I didn't get an explanation. We weren't going to get any money back, so we had to go on our trip. How would you have handled that one?
Again, sir, I really don't have a way of validating your claim unless you can provide me with a confirmation that shows you've been booked on whatever that hotel is that you were trying to book, and then somehow we already have this reservation for Solitude.
But see, that makes me think.
What I'm looking at on this, and it is not to base everything on the reservation that I have. I simply see here a Solitude hotel, a Hertz car, and a Delta flight.
Right, but and Arden, we've been we're dealing with each other professionally here.
If there's something for you to back off your claim, then
I'm gonna
need an email address to send that to.
Well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna double check my email and see what I can find there. But I'm kind of thinking you think I'm lying to you, and I'm not lying to you. And I know you haven't said it, but it's just a feeling I got.
Actually, I'm not saying you're lying, sir. I'm just telling you what I see.
Right, and I hear you, and I understand that.
You can have, and unless you do have something, a screenshot, say, to back up.
Wait, could you hold on? Hold on 1 second, please. Hold on. Arden?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When you book reservations to go somewhere, do you save screenshots?
That's the thing, sir.
I'm just asking.
I'm not talking to validate your claim. I can only, you're telling me that somehow it got speech, and from what
Well, of course not. I didn't expect that to actually be in your system. I'm just asking, we're one human being talking to another human being. You've got a screen in front of you. You're seeing what's there. I'm telling you what happened based on my trip. And based on when I first started dealing with this up until we got back. There's more than just the rental car. There's more than just solitude. There's more than being rescued. I'm looking for a little bit of human compassion on this one. And I understand that you're not meaning to say that I'm lying to you, but it kind of feels that way. I'm just looking for, I don't want my whole trip repaid. I don't want anything like that. All I want is the 2 nights from Solitude that we missed. I want the $89 and $89 for the other hotel in Salt Lake City we had to book. I want the $130 worth of tickets and events that we missed, and I want my entire rental car portion refunded.
And I believe I have already told you what I'll be doing to see if you'll be compensated with that.
The entire now when I say entire,
with a car reservation. So I'm willing to call Hertz for you, tell them what happened.
oh, I have to. Gwen handled that, and Gwen told me Hertz wants to talk to me directly. But when I just want to make sure on the car part, I'm sorry, sometimes I screech a little bit. On the car portion, we had to rent a second car, and you can see that in your records right now. That second vehicle rental, they charged us from the beginning of the Orbitz contract, and Hertz puts that on you guys because that's the way they do it. They said that's your corporate policy. So they charged me $50 extra a day from the beginning. We only used the second car 2 days. Personally, I think that's kind of a scam. So there's $200 there plus whatever the entire portion of the Hertz rental car was. Okay? I mean, I don't want time and aggravation. My wife and I were safe. We made it out alive. We're better people for this experience. But how much was the original rental car portion of this trip? I don't get that as a breakdown. I only get the total package cost. Can you tell me how much Hertz was paid total?
If you the package, I'll go ahead and take a look if you're interested in knowing how much was the car portion for your old reservation. But as for the meantime, would you like me to get in touch with Hertz now, or?
Yeah, that'd be great. And can we talk at the same time? You talk to them, and I'm here too.
Verify with them, okay? If they're willing to have a customer along with a travel agency getting contracts with them.
Okay.
Now,
while also Arden, who do you think's responsible for all our missed events? We missed 2 movies and a party that money was paid for. Do you think we should be out that money because of this situation? It appears as if Arden from Orbitz is calling Hertz now.
we'll just on the line. I'll be getting back to you in 3 to 5 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Arden has kept me on hold now for about 5 minutes trying to talk to Hertz. I have requested that I be put on with Hertz so I could hear what they had to say at the same time. That apparently was ignored or Hertz refused. So thanks, Hertz Rent-A-Car. Way to stand up for your customer. Way to talk to people like people. You guys rock. Okay, so let me get that straight again. Hertz, are you talking to the national office with Hertz, or are you talking to the airport?
I'm not talking at their location. I'm talking with their customer service department.
Oh, okay.
Post travel.
Yeah, talking to the airport I'm not sure if you've tried the airport location, but during my conversation with you guys, I called myself. I was on the phone just rings. I let it ring for over 2 minutes. So yeah. All right. Well, the customers will. Do you think they're going to let me talk to them while we are on the phone too?
Sure, no problem. Thank you.
Okay.
As long as, of course, I'll get their permission first.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I had to switch phones because this conversation's been going so long. Apparently, Hertz is busy. So it might be a little bit. I'm gonna go turn this part of the camera off for a little bit. I've actually emptied the battery on one of our house phones. Let's document that too. Not that it's a big deal. I just find it that funny because we're at. Hold on. We're an hour and 35 minutes into this phone call. Yeah. So I'll be back. I'm still on hold. That happens. To be honest with you, I may have misspoke. She's gonna try to get Hertz to agree to talk to me while we all alone together. So we'll try, but you know what? I know I share some of the responsibility here. Do your due diligence. Don't go buy these travel sites. Call hotels directly and ask how far they are from places. Find out all the stuff you can before you leave. So that way you don't have any surprises like this. You know, I mean, Jackie and I, we weathered the storm. And now it's just a matter of, let's see who does right by each other. Arden just stopped by to say, she's still on hold. I gave her information, but she just didn't seem to want to listen, so. Anyway, back to the next time. Or wait for the next. I'm sorry, could you say that again? Something about the Hertz agent hasn't been available yet. We know that. When you guys call a customer service number, did you ever notice they play soothing music to keep you calm? How come none of these places ever have a really good death metal tune? So you can get all worked up while talking to them? Just curious. Anybody know the reason? Let me know. It's been over 2 hours, and I'm hanging in there because I want a positive resolution for this. But I do have some things to say. When we got back to the Salt Lake City airport, yes, and I'm addressing the lady at the Hertz counter in the Salt Lake City airport. You know who you are because you have the bad 80s Farrah Fawcett haircut. And to the customer service people at the airport I dealt with on the phone. You have been the rudest people I've ever dealt with in my life. You were very unprofessional, and you're all in the wrong field. You should be torturing small animals or, doing satanic rituals. But to treat people in your position the way you treated me, to call me a liar to my face, I'm not going to stand for it. I'm an adult. I looked you in the eye. I talked to you nicely and professionally. There was a couple moments when, I just thought about it would probably be best if I spit in your face, but I didn't go there. But you all treated me like a big piece of shit. And I'm going to send this particular clip to the Hertz main office. because I want you to know that it shouldn't be tolerated. You're very unprofessional. Oh, and also, when you told me you didn't have any other cars available, why did you lie to me? Okay? You had at least 3 different kinds of SUVs there. You had some from Hyundai, Chevy, Ford. That's 3. Oh, and Subaru. Let's make it 4. But you lied to me. You were in a position where you could bring other cars in and treat people fairly. You purposely gouged me price-wise by putting me in the biggest obnoxious car you had. And I had to take it because I had to do what was right by my wife. So, it's a little bit on the bullshit side if you ask me. You're a pussy organization, Hertz, and you know it. And it won't be tolerated. I'm going to start a campaign to personally have people contact me so we can go after you. It's case by case by case. Sorry, I know. I didn't want this to be a whiny, bitchy video. This is the only part that's going to be. You, Hertz, you have it coming. You brought it on yourselves, and you fucked with the wrong person.
Your call may be recorded or monitored to ensure quality standards. Please press 1 if you are to report an accident or body damage to your rental vehicle.
I'm calling Hertz myself and see what they have to say when they're in.
Press 2. If your keys are locked in the vehicle, you... Roll services, Christina, are you safe?
Yes.
How may I help you?
Hi, Christina. I was talking with Orbitz. My name is Ray Biddle. I was a customer up until yesterday, and they told me to call the 800-654-5060 number. Up until this point, I was dealing with either the Salt Lake City Airport or the national office about our rental car situation. We had a really defective car. We wound up having to get an SUV. It was just one big fiasco. And I'm just trying to get I'm trying to be treated fairly. Frankly, I was a little upset that I had to pay an extra $200 after Hertz's car was bad. And I don't even know why I'm calling emergency road service. That's what...
Nothing I can help you as far as with that.
Can you transfer me to the national office, the regular line?
One moment, please.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Still have Orbitz here. This is my cell.
Hertz at the Salt Lake City International Airport. If you know the extension of the party you are calling, you may press 1.
Hi, Jason. Is this Salt Lake City or is this the national office?
Yeah, Salt Lake City.
Okay. Who do I talk to about the fiasco I went through this past couple of days involving the defective car and then getting overcharged for an SUV when you guys had more than one car in the lot, and to be treated like an asshole by your customer service people at the front desk?
Okay, I can help you with that, sir. Sorry about that. What can I help you with?
I want to know, after everything I've been through, because it's funny, I've got Orbitz on the other phone here, and they've had me on hold for 45 minutes trying to reach you.
Okay.
So, anyway, I want to know
You currently have a vehicle?
No, I'm already home. I got home yesterday. The lady I was dealing with at the front counter I wouldn't call it a threat, but she was kind of nasty to the point that I wanted to, I just wanted to get away, and I find it funny that I was I had to pay an extra $200 after being rescued off the mountain from Solitude.
Let's take a look here. Do you have a rental record number?
Rental record number. Hold on.
On the top of your receipt, RR. Probably starts with like
How about the Orbitz confirmation number?
That's not going to do anything for it. I apologize. You returned yesterday, say?
Yeah, I returned the second car yesterday. On Friday, we had to have a car towed off of Solitude.
So you don't have any receipts with you that have the RR record number on the top of them by chance?
Unfortunately, no. I can give you. I mean, it's just not in front of me.
Look it up. It just takes a few minutes. So I don't want to keep you patient. So.
Oh, it's okay. I've already been on the phone. We're well over the 2-hour mark. And I have a question about Utah state law that nobody seems to want to answer. They kind of skirt the question. Would that be something you'd be willing to talk to me about?
Utah state law? No, about the law. What's going on?
Well, how come? I understand why Hertz doesn't want chains. I do, but don't you think you shouldn't even rent a 2-wheel drive vehicle? I mean, if you know where the person's taking the car. And it shouldn't be on the customer at that point. I'm not from there. It should be, you know what, sir, we know what you asked for, but you have to take this car. You can't take a 2-wheel drive. And because that would avoid some of the question. I mean, the car itself, I know it's broken. It had tire pressure issues. It wouldn't turn right. It didn't want to turn on dry pavement, let alone snow. And we experienced all the weather while we were there, rain, snow, dry. There's just certain things I'm curious about why that location, when you knew where we were going, and when I say you, I mean Hertz. It's nothing personal. You've been very professional. You've been the best person from Salt Lake that I've spoken to yet. So I'm just curious on that one.
Yeah, I mean, just from a company standpoint, we just don't allow chains on the vehicle just because of the damage that the chains can cause to the vehicle.
Oh, and I can I understand that. I do understand how to put on chains. I've used them before. But don't you think it should automatically just be, look, we can't let you have a 2-wheel drive car to take up the solitude in winter?
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying as well. But yeah, I mean, we don't really work it that way. So.
Well, I got a question for you. Have you ever?
Last name? Can I look up your rental record number?
Okay.
What was the last name on that?
Biddle. B as in Bob. Iddle.
All right, thank you, Mr. Biddle. Just 1 second. This was.
We picked the car up on January 20th.
All right, hold on.
Huh?
Sorry, these reports just take a few minutes to load, son.
Okay. And again, I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I think, you like I said, you've been,
Help you, son.
and
Raymond?
yes.
All right, thank you.
Now, are you a manager or just a customer service? And I don't mean that as in disrespect.
I'm a manager, son.
Okay. Were you there over the last couple of days? Did you happen to see when the car was towed in?
I have not. I mostly deal with customer service end of things, so I don't usually get to the back very much. So
Okay. When I asked to speak with a manager that day, was there a reason that I wasn't allowed to speak to one directly?
what day was this?
Let's see. 20th we got there, picked up the car. That was Wednesday. Thursday, everything was pretty much okay. I knew there was something weird with the car, but I mean, I'm not a mechanic. I just know how I drive. I drive well. I shouldn't have had wet pavement issues. By the time Friday, or Wednesday, Thursday, when Friday came around, and I knew just by turning the wheel, something was weird. And I started calling in. The first person I spoke to that day on Friday, all they were saying is, you knew what kind of car you rented, and it's on you. And I was like, you know what, though? I don't know the terrain as well as the people there. I'm not a local. Then the guy proceeded to hang up on me. He talked down to me in such a way I haven't experienced in my life, and I've had people spit in my face. So it was a pretty awful way to be treated. When I got, then
Did you use a name or
no, it was just in the heat of a phone call, and I wish I had of. I also had to go from there to the Hertz internet or the Hertz main office or the 800 number, because that's who got the arrangements made to get the tow truck to rescue me and my wife. And I know that sounds like I'm being dramatic, but have you been up Solitude?
not much of a snow guy.
Well, okay.
But I can understand.
Well, see, we were there for Park City. Solitude was not the place to be, and that has nothing to do with Hertz. I can't hold Hertz accountable there. However, when we couldn't get off the mountain because of this car, we missed a couple of films. We missed a party. I missed some networking opportunities. I missed, I had to deal with the fact that my wife got really upset. And that's what was the main factor here. I don't like to see my wife cry. Are you married?
I am, yeah.
Do you like to see things that you can't control make your wife cry?
Yeah, no, it's very frustrating.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I just think being treated like that. Oh, and if Orbitz gets a hold of you, let me know, because I just find this kind of amusing that I've been on the phone while they're waiting for you guys for 45 minutes. But
Oh, really?
yeah, the person's name is Arden, and she's from Manila. Anyway. I think because of the car situation, I should be reimbursed not only for all the car stuff, I should be reimbursed. It was about $130 worth of tickets. I really do. And I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm trying to be respectful and professional. But I hope you can understand my point of view here.
Yeah, I can understand you're frustrated. It's something that's above me. I'll have to talk to my area manager about it. His name is John Fuller. I will be consulting with him on this. Because I think it needs to serve something as well.
Because, I mean...
But it looks like you had a Suburban. You were...
That was the second car.
Was it Suburban?
That was the second car.
Oh, this is the second car?
The first car was a Chevy Cobalt.
Oh, okay.
Now explain this to me. Okay, I've driven in mountains, I've driven in snow, I've been driving since the early 80s. Okay? Someone else rented a car and drove it to Solitude in the snow, and it was a Chevy Cobalt. If that particular car can make it up the hill by this guy's driving, and at this point, there was 9 inches of snow on the road coming up the mountain. The lights were flashing for change or 4x4. I was amazed that the guy made it myself. I know that I've driven in 3 feet of snow with a rear-wheel drive 1960s vehicle. I get driving in the snow. If that's why, if something's wrong with the car, and I can't go 200 yards, I had to go from Solitude's main office to the ski hill. We slid at such an angle that it can't be really described. It wasn't that we went 90. Also, on the Cobalt, I'd like an explanation as to why the left front tire had 37 pounds a square inch in the one wheel, and on the right front tire, it was in the 20s, like 22. Now, I'm not a mechanic, but I do understand cars a little bit. Do you think that could cause handling problems?
That should. I mean, I would think.
Okay.
I'm not a mechanic either. We have our mechanics here to deal with it. But tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my area manager involved in this, see what we can do for you.
Okay. And again,
Compensation that's going to be...
if you could do me... here's... Okay, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. I get talk...
I'd like to reverse as much as I can, so I'm going to get my area manager involved, and we'll make it right for you. I mean, it sounds like you had a totally terrible experience. I do apologize for that.
I mean, the Suburban, that Suburban's made to go over mountains. That's an awesome car. You guys should recommend... I mean... Oh, and also, can someone explain to me, again, this was her, I don't remember her name, I'll give you a description. She's got like an 80s Farrah Fawcett haircut, she's Caucasian, and she seemed to be a little bit stressed that day. I forget her name. I wish I had it. At that point, we were just, when she was pointing fingers that we should have known better. Maybe we should have, just a little bit. But to get to the point, and also another way to identify her, she had to call a manager because I left the rental contract in the Cobalt. We were that frazzled. We got all our stuff. We wanted to just get another car and go on with our day.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. I wasn't here on Friday, so
Okay.
I apologize.
Again, I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus.
No, you're fine, because I mean, I want to get to the bottom of it so we can, that's how we improve.
And
We get better. It's through feedback, so I appreciate it.
okay. And let's, because we were out a bunch of ticket money, like I said. And also, why were we charged $50 a day from the beginning of the trip when we didn't even have the Suburban from the beginning of the trip.
Yeah, that's something we're gonna take a look at. I'm gonna see. Yeah, I've got some things to research there that that shouldn't have been if you weren't charged at the beginning of the trip. Yeah, you should have been charged that $50. So.
And also because I suggested I was a little frustrated, but I was trying to. I grew up in New Jersey and I suffer from what's called assholism, and it's funny. You can giggle. I would. And it was coming out, and I didn't want to scream at your counter because your other customers don't need to hear what I'm going through. I think it should have. I tried to keep it discreet. From what I've heard in the past, that a rental car company gives someone a defective car, they usually just waive the charges. I wouldn't even be making this phone call. I thought at that point, I didn't say it, but I thought someone there should have said, you know what, Mr. Biddle, we are so sorry that this car didn't go through a proper service or didn't get aligned like it should have. Here, I don't think we should have been charged extra for the Suburban. But that's just me.
I agree. That's kind of service I like to provide as well. So.
Okay. Again, do you have all my contact information?
I have a phone number here of 312-416-0018.
No.
Is that a good number to get in touch with you?
I have no idea what that number is.
Okay.
It
could be an Orbitz number. Sometimes when it's booked through Orbitz, that's the number that comes across.
Okay.
So, can I get a good number to contact you back at then, Mr. Biddle?
Sure. It's area code 509-443-3112. And that's my home number. And you can ask for me, Raymond. At this point, I wouldn't talk to my wife, Jackie. She may scream at you. She's not, she's a little upset with Hertz right now.
Yeah, my wife's the same way. She wants me to do all the peacemaking, and she just stays upset. So.
Yeah.
And then if she gets involved, then watch out.
Okay. Well, and again,
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Can I have your name again?
This is Jason.
Jason.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll consult with my area manager, and we will get back to you today.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yep. You're welcome. Have a good day.
Bye-bye. So apparently there are people at Hertz Rental Car that have souls. I for a second were thinking they were daywalkers. Anyway, Jason. Yes, can I ask you a question? Arden? I just spoke to Jason, the manager at the Salt Lake Hertz. I called him on my other phone. Did anybody ever talk to you?
And I'm also getting hold of their manager because I was advised by their customer service representative or their billing department.
Okay, what was that name?
To actually get hold of their manager in the location, and I'm currently on hold.
Okay.
The manager.
And what's that manager's name?
I'm sorry, this is John Fuller.
Could you say that again without the beep?
It's John Fuller.
John Fuller, yes.
The manager that we have to spoke with.
Okay, because I had just spoken to the customer service manager there, and his name is Jason. But John Fuller is and Jason's going to talk to him too. Now, I'm just curious how I got through. I mean, I know you were on hold. I've dealt with these people. Yeah. I just found it funny that I got through faster than you did. And I was on hold for, 45 minutes with you?
Actually, sir, just to let you know, I was actually trying to... I actually have 3 agents already from Hertz.
Okay.
While you're on hold with me. And all of them, just to make sure how consistent they are with their advices. And all 3 of them advised me to get hold of John Fuller.
Okay, because if the next time someone comes on the line, tell them that Mr. Biddle also spoke to Jason, and Jason's going to talk to John Fuller too. So, can you call me back?
Yeah.
Arden, I'm sorry. Can you call me back when you get John Fuller on the line?
If that's what you want to sure, no problem with that.
That'll be great, because...
Just because leave me with a contact number.
Yeah, you ready? It's area code 509-443-3112. Could you repeat that for me?
Okay. Well, let's see if I have that correctly. That's 509-443-3112.
Correct. And again, when you get Mr. Fuller, John Fuller, yeah, because Jason's going to talk to him too. Jason was great. They've basically agreed that I should be compensated for this. So I want to hear what I want. I want an Orbitz representative and a Hertz representative, and hopefully it's John Fuller, and we can get this resolved. They said they're going to let me know sometime today. So I hope I hear from you sometime today. Is that fair?
I really do hope so too, sir. Because you see, this is I'm actually calling this John Fuller the second time around already. And the first time I got his voicemail, so I get back to getting a representative from their customer service line, their post-travel
Okay.
department.
Cool.
Well, since the agent also advised me to get hold of John Fuller, this is the second time that I'm getting hold of him. I really do hope this is available.
Okay, well, as soon as you get him, buzz me back and we'll all talk at the same time. That would be fantastic.
All right, sir.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much as well.
Anyway, I've finally got a name. It's John Fuller. He runs the entire operation for the Hertz car rental in Salt Lake City. And I really hope that Mr. Fuller will call me. Or at least, or I'd love to have Orbitz on the phone too. Anyway, I think we're heading to a positive after speaking with Jason, the customer service manager, I think we're going to a positive result. Anyway, I know there's a lot of babbling, and I know this isn't the greatest quality video, but it's a feature-length film, all based on a phone call. So, all right, guys, thanks. If you've made it through this, God bless you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. So I'm waiting for a call from John Fuller, like I just mentioned, or Jason, the customer service manager. Sometimes people don't want to get their last names, and I don't like to push it. But I'm going to wrap this up, and this is going to be basically how not to deal with people, or how not to Sundance. I think that's a better title. That'll be the subtitle of this. But anyway, if you've made it through this, thank you. You know, make this a lesson for yourself. Teach people. And wow, I'm going to get this on YouTube and we'll see what happens. Spread the word. Make people watch this. Sundance needs to know what goes on so they can get their people there. Later.